Hello, I'm Jason Harrelson, and I'm introducing myself even though I know lots of you know me, but I'm guessing thousands of you have never heard of me. And you're probably watching this video because either someone told you, hey, you should watch this video, or you saw it on our website. And essentially, what I'm going through today is a little bit of my history and explaining Harrelson trumpets in 2024 and beyond. Now, a lot of you know me because I build trumpets. Some of you know me because I used to be a performer and I would tour as a musician. Many of you I have worked with and I've built things for you. Very few of you know a lot about my time before building trumpets. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that and discuss what's going to happen this year and beyond. Because how I spend my time and what I've been doing for the trumpet community and for others for all these years is going to shift. It's not really going to change dramatically, at least not yet, but it is going to shift into other things. And I made an entire list of the things I want to talk about today. I'll try to keep this video as short as I can, but it's important for me to share this with those of you who want to hear it. So the first thing I want to say is if you don't know me, I've had a history of having strokes and heart attacks my entire life. Since I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, I've been having serious health issues, and I did not know that. And most people who've known me, who've met me, who've worked with me, who've gone hiking or skiing or traveling with me, I come across as a person who doesn't have any disabilities. And I've worked really hard to be a normal person in society who can function and do things and work and make a living and just enjoy life. For some reason, my sister and I both have had some very serious health issues that we were born with. We were both born with what's called a PFO, which is essentially a hole between the left and right atrium of your heart. And we both have had the surgery to repair that. Now, my sister's PFO was closed, and now that part of her is fine. Unfortunately, she has leukemia, and she's battled other cancer, and just a lot of other things that have been very difficult for her in the past several years. 2 years ago, I had my PFO closed. However, the surgery failed. I don't want to get into details, but if you want to learn more about that, then I encourage you to go into my blog and even in YouTube and watch my videos and learn more about that, because it's so important for us to talk about these things that really do affect our quality of life and a lot of times lead to serious disability or death. And I'm very, very lucky to be alive today. I was lucky to be alive 10, 12, 15, 20 years ago after each of these strokes and heart attacks and even a pulmonary embolism. I was very lucky to survive all of that. And if you want to learn how that affected me and how I got to where I am despite all those things, then I have talked about it in my blog. So anyhow, I had my PFO closed. It was one of those emergency surgery type things where it failed, and it actually went through the hole, and it blocked my blood flow in my heart, and they had to pull it out as an emergency. They called in a surgeon. It was not fun. And then 2 months later, they did it again, and they tried to close it, and they closed it halfway. So 50% of that hole in my heart is closed. The great part of that, all of it's actually great for me, even though it seems kind of scary. The great part is that I have had almost no migraine headaches. I've had no strokes since that surgery, no heart attacks, and I have felt like I'm the healthiest person I've ever been. And that's leading us to this conversation about what's going to happen with Harrelson in 2024, this year and beyond, because a lot of things are going to change. So related to all of that, because I had strokes, and what comes with strokes a lot of times is, brain damage. So I've had some pretty serious brain damage, and you don't hear many people say, hey, look at me, I have brain damage. And I don't like to come out and wear it as a badge of honor because I'm not ashamed of it, but a lot of people have had a lot more difficult circumstances than I have. I'm lucky enough to live in a country, in a place where I can have medical services, and I truly appreciate the fact that I'm still here, and that I'm alive, and that I have my cognitive skills, and I can still use all my body parts. And now, because of that surgery, I have my vision again, because I was essentially having very serious vision problems. I have much better balance, and essentially my brain power, I can feel this, my ability to execute thoughts and ideation and just see things through is through the roof. I've never been this strong mentally in my whole life. And it just makes me so excited for the future and all the things that we can do. But with that, my last stroke, my last very major stroke, I've had several smaller strokes since then, but was in May of 2022. And in May of 2022, which is almost 12 years ago, I lost my entire memory. So when I woke up that morning, I was suffering a stroke. And I had had a heart attack the day before, but I didn't know it. It was in my sleep. And to make a long story short, when I woke up that morning, I knew something was wrong. I was losing all of my ability to think, and I had already lost all my feeling and control of the left side of my body. And the only thing that I saw and knew at that moment was my dog. And it's really hard for me to talk about this. But I think it's really important to share. That day, I woke up, and it was the first day of my life. And I don't mean that in a way, I don't mean that in any other way than what it sounds like. It literally was the first day of my life, because I had lost all my memory before that moment. And I never got it back. And that's not why I'm having a hard time talking about this. I'm having a hard time talking about it because Oscar was like one and a half, something like that when this happened. I think, I haven't done the math. Oscar was my dog, and he was the only other being I had at that moment. I can't explain this, but Oscar made such an impression on me because I had lost all my memory, and I woke up to him trying to help me. He woke me up. I was falling asleep. I was probably on my way to dying, and he kept pushing at me and trying to get me to move and reminding me that I can't lay there. And somehow I got out of bed and I got to the hospital, and it was because of Oscar. And Oscar passed away suddenly a few weeks ago. It's been so hard on me and on my wife Jolene and on Jen, who's the other half of Harrelson Trumpets. It's been harder on all of us, and unfortunately I think it's been the hardest on me. And you wouldn't think a little dog could have that kind of an impression on anybody. And I love my parents, and I love my sister, and I love my family and my friends and my wife. But he was there since the day I woke up. And losing him has given me a lot of perspective. The thing is, when you mourn somebody, it's not often that you're going to speak to the public about it. And most people choose not to do that. The reason I choose to do it is because I make a fair amount of my personal life public. I don't make all of it public, but the things that are important to me, you guys usually know about if you dive into my videos. Because what I do for a living with my hands and with my mind, the things that I create, all the trumpets, all the other products most of you don't even know about, I do all of those things because I love sharing what I can do. I love expressing myself through things that can then be expressed again. And musical instruments are one of the greatest forms of expression. Once you own an instrument and you become one with it, you can express yourself through that instrument, and I just am honored to be a part of your journey. For me, it's just amazing that I have the dream job I've always wanted since I was a kid. I vowed when I was a little kid to become an inventor and to create things that do good in the world. I had many opportunities to do things that would be very, very profitable and would not do good in the world, like creating things that could be used as weapons, or being involved in things that I was really good at, that just aren't as positive, And I want to share this with you because it's the reason that I'm making the changes. And it's not just Oscar, it's me, it's my life, it's your lives. I would like all of you to reflect on how you're spending your time and how you are exerting energy to achieve different forms of success. And hopefully the ultimate form of success for you is peace and harmony and happiness and love for your friends and family. And I know you've heard that a million times, all different ways. And this is coming from a place of not religion, just a place of humanity. We all need to love each other more. We need to care for each other more. And if you have significant others or friends or family, sons and daughters, moms and dads, neighbors, even strangers at the grocery store that you see regularly, it's up to you to make their lives a little better, which will make your life a little better. And that's why I share these things. And you've seen me break down a couple times before, because my life hasn't been the hardest, but it hasn't been the easiest. And I personally know people who've had much harder lives, and they didn't even get through them. They were cut short. So I'm very grateful that I'm here. And I unfortunately only got to the first line item, so I'm going to breeze through these as quick as I can, because I'm not here to play on your heartstrings. So this year of transition is really important to me. It was ironic. I've been thinking about this ever since I lost Oscar. I've been thinking, how do I want to spend my time? What do I want to be doing? And this isn't something that came on today. It's been going on for my entire career. It's been going on for years. I want to spend more of my time doing the things that I love to do with the people I love. And I've done that. I've worked really hard at times, and then I've taken longer vacations, or I've taken more days off to go spend time with other people, especially my wife, Jolene. And like, for instance, last year we did a month in Africa. We climbed Kilimanjaro. We did safaris. We explored several different countries. We had an amazing time getting to know local people. We hiked and camped for a whole week with a group of people from Tanzania. And we love those kinds of experiences, and I want to do more of that. And most of you don't even know I went to Africa because I didn't share that. I didn't share very much, or hardly at all, because it's something that's ours. And I didn't want to tell you guys until, of course, the time was right. But it's really important for us to spend time doing the things that we really love to do, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And that's how and why a lot of this is going to change. So in 2024, I'm really going to make a huge shift into what we're doing. I'm turning 50 this year. For some reason, the number 24 has always been a really important date for me. And maybe it's because I was born on the 24th. I have no idea why that date has stuck to me. But now it's 2024. I woke up a few weeks ago and I was like, wow, this is the year that I always thought would be like my biggest year of something. I don't know what. And hopefully it's positive this year. So I just want to relay to you guys that I really think that you need to reflect, not because it's a new year, not because it's 2024 or because I said so, but because it's important to you. You need to reflect on how you spend your time, where you spend it, and what things you're doing that make you happy or that don't, that stress you out, that maybe make things difficult. It's time to reflect on what you want to get out of life, because if you don't do it right now, then you may not ever do it. Or you may wait 5 years and lose the 5 years in front of you because you didn't stop and say, all right, this is really important. I need to figure out how I want to spend my days and my time. I'll say this, I could very easily sell this company, or I could become a consultant that makes way more money than I do now in manufacturing or design or other things. I could just teach trumpet lessons. I could create an online program. I could do all those things, and I could make a lot more money than I do here at Harrelson. The reason I do these things is because I really truly love it. It's so great to work with you guys and to make things with my hands and to make them with real solid materials. And I just love creating that way. But that's me. That's how I'm spending my time. I need to spend more time doing other things. I want to travel more. I want to spend more time with my wife. We've been, trying to foster to adopt. So that might be in our future. And I really want more of my time back and less time in the shop, which doesn't mean I'm not going to be working hard for you guys. However, it means that everything's going to go up to a realistic price now. So in 2025, probably on the first day of 2025, our prices are going to go up across the board on all trumpets and a lot of the accessories by 50%, if not more. So you've probably never heard somebody say, hey, I'm going to raise my prices by 50%. But I just said it. I'm going to raise my prices by the end of this year or the beginning of 2025 by 50%. Some things might creep up there over the year, but if you are seriously interested in getting a trumpet from me or a mouthpiece or one of our other solutions, we're going to raise the price to what really the market value is. And that means a Muse trumpet is going to cost $15,000, $16,000. It's completely fair. The amount of time and engineering and quality control and just literal manufacturing cost to make a Muse trumpet is ridiculous. But the same with all the trumpets. We just released Rumors and Dreams in October, and we sold 50 of them in 1 month. And I've been making them. They're almost done. I've almost made every single one. But it takes a lot of time and energy for me to do those things, and the price point was very, very low to help some of you who wanted a horn in that price range, which is our entry-level price range, is the Rumors and Dreams, and the Muse is the top end. Even Rumors and Dreams is going to go up by 50%. So I'm saying this right now. We have maybe 5 or 6 Rumors and Dreams available that have not been ordered. If you want one before they're sold out, because it's a limited edition, you should do that. If you are considering having me work with you and build you anything, then this is the year you should do it. And I'm not stressing that because I need to make a lot of sales. We do just fine here. I'm stressing it because I want to give you the opportunity and the heads up that the prices are going to go up. And they're going up because I want more of my time back. I don't want to spend as much of it here in the shop working really, really hard. Even though I love doing that, I don't want to do that as much. All right, that was a very long way of saying I need my time back. Also, I'm going to start to revisit a lot of my early creations. So when I was younger, I used to make heirloom puzzles. I always used the word heirloom, which kind of means such a high quality of an object that you'll hand it down through the generations of your family. And when I started building puzzles, which was way before I started building trumpets, I shouldn't say way before, but in my lifetime, it seems like it probably was. When I look back at my notes and all my production, and I have boxes of puzzles actually that I've made people and that were unfinished, and plaques and other things. I should back up. I used to be a professional woodworker, and I made my living building woodworking objects like furniture and a lot of real creative things like you see me doing trumpets, only in woodwork, before I ever built my first trumpet. So before I was a metal worker and a welder and all the other things that I do, I was a woodworker, and I still have continued making some things out of wood over the years, but I want to get back to the original things I used to make. So I'll be revisiting a lot of my early creations. These are all going to be heirloom quality items, and each different design is going to be numbered. I'm doing this because, well, one, I've seen a lot of great artists do this, where they number every single thing they make. Like, say, an artist. Sometimes an artist will label their art as number 1 and then maybe give it a title, but they put the number 1 in there. And it's not because they're prints. It's not because they're printing 50 of them. If they do that, then they'll do 1 of 50 print, whatever. So it's not because of that. It's because it's a new design, a new creation. And I've thought a lot about this for a long time. And now that Oscar is gone, I realize his days were always numbered. And mine are, and I've always known that. each of us, our days are numbered. I thought Oscar would outlive me because I had so many issues. I had so many health problems. And I thought one day I'd wake up and I'd be having a stroke and that would be the end. And Oscar, I literally, in my mind, thought he would outlive me. It's a crazy thing. He was 13, and I realized what I should do is start putting numbers on things, because there is a limit. There's a number of how many things I will make. I used to make custom knives, and I don't mean I made a knife for the kitchen, although I did. I made kitchen knives, I made all kinds of things. I mean, I used to make heirloom quality knives where I would like do all the work, and I would do all the hand carving and all the filing and making the scales and making the hardware and putting it all together. I used to do that. And I still do it sometimes for people or sometimes for myself, but I have not done it for a living. So I'm going to bring back knives, and here in 2024 I'm going to start numbering every single knife from number 1. Even though we had lots of them before, we're going to start with number 1, and if I give it a title, it'll come after the number 1. And each different design will have a different number, and I don't know how many different designs I'll get through. It could be a dozen, it could be 50, it could be 100. I have no idea. I'm going to start creating all the other things that I've done over the years as well. Puzzles, the heirloom puzzles. I should have brought one in here, but you're going to want to watch for this. The heirloom puzzles are 3D puzzles, right now currently made out of solid wood and metal, and they are very, very different than anything you've probably ever seen. I'm also going to be making keepsake boxes and urns, so you'll see a lot of those items coming out. And these are related to the puzzles, using a lot of the same techniques. And I'll discuss this in detail as they come out. All these things are going to come out at least in one iteration in 2024. I'll be making furniture. Now, the furniture side of things is going to start very, very small in 2024, but I'll probably start to create other bigger things. And I may actually create a few dining room sets and living room sets and tables and chairs and all those things. I know how to do it, and I enjoy doing that kind of work, and it means a lot to me. So it will probably happen, but it'll be very, very limited outside of my own home and other people. Not many people will be able to get one of those, because I'm not going to spend my whole life doing that. Pens and pencils. I've made pens and pencils for many years, and these again are heirloom quality pens and pencils, which means they're not going to be $25. They will be hundreds of dollars. These will be the kinds of pens that you want to keep forever and hand down to your children. Jewelry. I've made a lot of jewelry over the years. I'm going to focus more on jewelry, and each of these different topics that I'm talking about, these different types of creations, I will offer in larger quantities. Let's say knife number 7 is a design that I can put into production for a limited time, and I can make 100. I'll make 100, and then you guys can have whatever number of number 7. You know, like you got 55 of 100 limited edition, but it's design number 7. So you'll see that happen. Sculptures. I'll just keep going. Spinning tops. You've seen me make spinning tops before. I really love working with inlays and multiple materials, and spinning tops for me are a lot of fun because it balances the precision. You have to have precision for the top to spin true and to spin a long time, and it balances that precision side of me with the creativity side, with incorporating lots of different materials, most of which are completely natural, like different types of hardwood and sometimes softwoods, and animal materials and wood, stones and metals, all natural things. Other products I'll be coming out with are bottle openers. These will be things that are very affordable because I can design them and I can make them inexpensively, but they're a lot of fun, and they will incorporate a lot of new technology, just like the latest Spectrotone Red hybrid mouthpiece bodies. So you're going to see a lot of that creep into my trumpet designs and other products. I'll list a couple others. Eating utensils, including chopsticks, forks, knives, spoons. I'll be making those. Toothpick toys, I'm not going to say much about it. It's just really cool and a lot of fun. And I'll also be making games. As you can see, if I'm making all these other things, there isn't as much time for trumpets. But the reason we can make this transition now is because I've developed techniques to make trumpets easier and faster. And the reason they always took so long is because so much of the work was done by hand after either CNC machining or bending and forming. And that handwork always took 5, 10, 20 times longer than it takes to make a regular trumpet in a normal factory like the big names. So because we've always done it by hand, then I could literally be hand sanding and shaping just parts of a Summit trumpet for as much time as Bach or Yamaha made maybe 10 entire trumpets, just working on the sanding and finishing of one. And Christine has been here for 11 years, I think. She's been doing finishing now on the final trumpets for 2 or 3 years. And she has really gotten her times down to how long it takes to finish a trumpet, right alongside with me, because we've changed a lot of our techniques in the design and the manufacturing of it. So if we put it together differently than traditionally, then we can save a lot of time, and we're getting much better at that. And that's going to move leaps and bounds forward in 2024. So you're going to see trumpets become much better than they were from us. They'll cost more, but they'll actually take us less time handwork. They may take a lot more time with other machinery and other processes, but those are more automated things. They cost a lot of money up front. So there's a balance there. They're going to be better, they're going to be lighter, they're going to be really, really cool, but they are going to cost more, and they are also going to give us some of our time back so we can work on other things. So I want to thank you if you got to the end of this video. Thank you for joining me discussing where Harrelson trumpets and other products are going in 2024 and beyond. We're rebranding our other products to Made by Harrelson. So you'll see that. You'll see it on our other website. If you go to Harrelson Momentum, and if you're on Kickstarter and you subscribed, you're going to see Made by Harrelson there. You'll see it a lot. And all of these new products that are outside of trumpets will be launched on Kickstarter or on our Made by Harrelson website. And everything else will be launched on Why Harrelson, which is the trumpet site, or on BackerKit. So Kickstarter is new products, which I think a lot of you guys will be really interested in. And then all trumpet related items will be on BackerKit or Why Harrelson. So that's what we're doing. I hope that you really reflect on how you're spending your time, who you spend it with, and your quality of life, your quality of your day, and your morning, your day, your night, your sleep, all those things. It's time for all of us to reflect on that and make our lives better. And if that means that you make less money because you take a different job, or you pursue the dream career that you've always wanted, trust me, making less money and being happy is the best trade-off you could ever make. And if it has nothing to do with money, and it's just simple choices of spending time here or there, I urge you to spend the time with the people that you really care about, your friends, your family. If you're not part of groups of people that get together and share similar interests, then maybe reach out and do those things. Or if you have a friend that you haven't spent a lot of time with, maybe in a few months or years or decades, then maybe it's time to reach out. I'll say this, my college roommate, who I believe was my roommate for my first 2 years of college, reached out to me the other day and sent me a couple photos. And one of the photos was me standing in front of a tow truck towing a car. And I thought, well, that's weird. And I didn't even recognize me because I don't have memories of that. So that was a shock. And then the other photo was apparently of us in our dorm room putting together some furniture. And I thought, wow, that's crazy. I don't remember that. So I wrote to him, and I haven't heard from him in I don't know how long, like longer than I can remember. So I wrote to him and I said, wow, thanks for reaching out. It's amazing to see these photos. And he told me a little more about them. And he said, oh, if you want to get on the phone, we can discuss all these things and I can help you get your memory back, because he didn't even know I had lost my memory. And I thought to myself, yeah, I didn't even know he existed. Like literally in my brain, when you lose your memory like that, you literally cannot remember the things before, unless something prompts you. And I've been prompted a little bit, but I don't even know what my college roommate looks like, and I haven't found a photo. So I can't wait to talk to him. But we all need stories like that. We all need to have those, those connections. And it doesn't have to be from the past either. It can be somebody present or in the future. but reach out and put yourself out there if you don't do that already, and let's connect more. All of us, let's connect more. I'll say one more thing. Some people who may watch this video have been extremely inspirational for me. You've given a lot to me, even though maybe you didn't even know it. Some of those people are famous trumpet players. Some of them are not so famous trumpet players. Many of them are people that aren't even trumpet players. But I am going to go out of my way to reach out to you guys and to have conversations and to connect. Mark Van Cleve, who was very, very briefly a trumpet teacher of mine, but a huge inspiration of mine when I was younger and throughout my life, reached out to me a few months ago, and we talked on the phone for a long time. It was a great conversation, and I thought, wow, when's the last time I talked to this guy? And all I can remember is maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, he called me another time, and he just wanted to talk, and it was the nicest thing in the world. And I thought, man, that is so great. That's what we all need to be doing, is connecting and spending time together. And I'm going to, in 2024, start to get out and see you guys. So I want to say this: in March, I'll be in Nashville. I'll be there for 3 or 4 days. And my purpose in being there is primarily to get to know you guys or to see you again. And I also want to visit a friend who lives in close to that area at the same time. So we need to do more of that. I'm going to be getting on the road and getting on planes for the foreseeable future, doing that more and more, doing clinics, and also just getting to work with you guys individually. If you want lessons, we can always do that. I always offer trumpet lessons and all brass instrument lessons. And I'm just excited to spend time with you guys and just see how you're doing. So we need to do more of that. Thank you all for watching. You're going to see these changes happen throughout the year, and I'm really excited to work with you. And remember, if you do want a Harrelson trumpet, I expect, because the prices will go up in 2025, the demand is probably going to be really high. So call me or let's discuss it sooner than later, so you don't get left out. And if you don't need anything that I make, then I hope that you just are living a great life and living every day to its fullest, because that's what's most important. So I'll thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.